Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cole. I love makeup and colour. Today I'm really excited because we're sitting down to film my 2024 makeup empties. I'm really impressed with all the things I've finished this year. I've seen some empties and they've just got an insane amount of progress and products done. I'm not quite there, but I'm hoping focusing on my project plan next year will also help me get this list a little bigger for 2025. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the products here with me because we moved in October and I wasn't moving a load of empty products, basically. It just seemed pointless. So I'm just going to run through the list. There's nothing that kind of is the most exciting thing in the world, so there's probably nothing that you need to see. There's no like eyeshadows in here or anything like that, unfortunately. But without doubt, we'll go through this. The first thing I finished this year was the Huda Bomb Brows Pencil. This is a very, very fine pencil, kind of similar to the ABH Brow Wiz. I finished that off, I think it was only like a couple of days into the year. I really enjoyed it. It gave me a really nice structured brow without looking too heavy. Then next up, the NYX Marshmallow Primer. This was one I really, really enjoyed. It smelled almost like black currants. It was ever so slightly smoothing, but just like a nice hydrating primer. Oh my gosh, the brain. It was really beautiful, a really great option from the drugstore, and I would definitely recommend that one. Then we had the Lancome Hypnose Drama Mascara, one of my favourite mascaras of all time. If you've been watching my channel a while, you probably know that I used to go on and on and on about that mascara. I think we finished that one about April, May time, I want to say. But it's a beautiful mascara, one I've repurchased time and time again, and I will be repurchasing it again at some point because I just love it. Okay, my favourite brow gel ever, the MAC Big Boost Fibre Brow Gel. This is quite a chunky wanded brow gel. It's not one of those really thin ones, but it's got fibres in it. The shade, I think it's Smoked from MAC, is a perfect colour for me, especially because I've had cool toned hair for a lot of this year. I find it just works better if you also have a cool toned brow. Then we finished the Benefit Professional Super Setter. I was really sad to see this one go. It was an incredible setting spray, but the packaging was terrible. So unfortunately now it's gone. I'm not going to be repurchasing it because it was just a nightmare. About a quarter of a way through, the spritzer just decided to give up. It used to give nothing or everything. You were either soaked wet through or dry as a bone, which for me, it's not what I want for my setting spray. I want a nice fine mist, and I want the mister to manage the whole time I'm using the product. But it is an amazing setting spray. If you do have it, I'm very jealous, but I'm not going to be buying it again. Okay. Another mascara, Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I gave up on this one. It was not waterproof enough for me. Just ended up all down my face. To be honest, I think I put it in my drawer probably in 2023 and then pulled it out for like 3-4 days and just got rid of it in the end because it was dried up, and I didn't really like it anyway. So that one's gone. Won't be buying that one again. Another very, very thin brow pencil, the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. Again, great product. The shades for the NYX brows are a little bit off for me. They're not quite right. The darker, more cool tone one is just a little too dark, whereas the shade lower is just a little too ashy, too warm, sorry. So there's not a great shade for me in there, but I do like the Micro Brow Pencil. It's very nice, very easy to use, and a good budget option if you want a very fine brow pencil. Okay, next up, 2 mini setting sprays. A mini Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood setting spray. Really like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood setting spray. I'm just about to finish one. I've maybe got like a couple of days more uses in it. It's probably going to be a 2024 empty, but I didn't want to leave filming this any later. So I've got about that much maybe of that left as well, and then I've got another backup because I really do like it, and then a mini Fix Plus Stay All Day setting spray from MAC. I didn't Love this one. Honestly, I've got a lot of like far more budget friendly alternatives that did very much the same thing. There was very little in way of like extra setting. Yeah, I didn't love that one, I must admit. I finally, which I was super proud of, and I did mention this in a video, I think I put it in a Shop My Stash. Maybe the first time I did it, or I might have talked about it heavily. The MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, again, another product I love, but I loathe the packaging. It's one I'm not going to be buying again. I hate the fact that it's a pump. I would much rather, in fact, they put less concealer in the tube and had a doe foot. I know it's more designed for makeup artists, which is great, but the pump doesn't function well. It squirts out way too much every single time. Even if you were doing like 3 bridesmaids, it'd probably be too much concealer. So I don't love that one for the packaging. I love the formula of the concealer, but I'm not going to buy it again because it just doesn't, it's not functional. It gets so messy and gross. Okay, another primer, the Elizabeth Arden Flawless Start Hydrating Primer. Never hear anybody talk about this one, but I think it's beautiful. It's very, very hydrating, very nourishing, feels so lovely on the skin. It was a really great one in the summer because it's nice and cooling. It was beautiful. It was like a clear serum with like little pink beads in it. It was beautiful. I really, really enjoyed that one. But I did find a dupe for it that is less. It's still like a high-end product, but it is less. Which, to be fair, is at the bottom of this list. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Okay. Smashed out the Smashbox Eye Primer, finished that in my project pan, was incredibly proud of myself for finishing that one. But probably the most proud I've been this year was when I finished the Urban Decay Beached Bronzer. That's the first bronzer I've ever panned completely in my life. I loved it. I think that's what's kind of helped me fall in love with panning. If you guys are regulars, you'll know I was using this on my channel for a long time and was very excited to have it done. I finished a lip liner, Rimmel's East End Snob lip liner. I don't know whether they still sell this, I'm not going to lie, but it batted around the internet about 5-6 years ago, maybe more. It was dupe for Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. It was very nice. It was just a screw up lip liner, which I do like because I'm rubbish at remembering to take a sharpener with me anywhere, slash sharpening them at home so I can take them somewhere sharp. You know what I mean? So I did really like that one. Very, very like budget friendly. I think the Rimmel lip liners are like £4 or £5. Like I said though, I don't know whether you can get that exact shade anymore. Okay, after that one, another bronzer. Now don't get me wrong, I was very close to finishing this one anyway, but I did finish the NARS Laguna bronzer this year. Very proud of myself again on that one. I can't actually believe, there's definitely something in my eye. I can't actually believe I managed to finish not 1, but 2 bronzers this year. I'm incredibly proud of that. I did also finish my Natural Radiant Longwear foundation from NARS. I love the NARS foundations. I think out of the 3, Natural Radiant Longwear was probably my least favourite, with Sheer Glow being my favourite, and then the Light Reflecting is just sort of in the middle. But I do like all 3. I may buy it again, I might not, but I did enjoy it. It was a lovely foundation. The Max Factor Contour Wand, which is like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. Very nice. Pulled the sponge off because it was gross and I hated it. And then it started leaking everywhere, which wasn't ideal. But I did finish that one in my project pan. It's a really, really nice dupe. It's a lovely, cool-toned bronzer, which I think, like liquid cream bronzer, I think a lot of the drugstore kind of dupes to the Charlotte Tilbury ones are quite warm, whereas the Max Factor is a true cool tone. So I really did like that. It's just a shame it's in that wand packaging, but they want it to be because they want it to dupe Charlotte Tilbury, but I hate the wand packaging, so, you know, it's a preference thing. Right, another brow gel, Lime Crime Bushy Brows Gel. Again, that was in my project pan. Very, very fine brush. This was in the shade Smoky, which is a great, very cool tone shade. Not ideal for when I had like warmer hair colours, so like the pink or the orange, but I really liked it with the blue and the green hair because it was very, very cool toned. It did have very, very slight fibres in it, but not anything you would notice on the brows, and I really enjoyed the wand being so fine with that one. Right, okay, Charlotte Tilbury Magic Concealer, another product I love, packaging I hate. It was like a twist up with a sponge on it, pulled the sponge off again because do not like those. But then the lid, I couldn't put the lid on properly because the lid got stuck on, so I had to sort of half put the lid on, and yeah, not ideal. Great concealer, really enjoyed it. Glad it's gone now though. And then 3 very recent finishes. YSL Lash Clash, literally just finished this one because I bought the new Kat Von D tubing mascara that I want to try out. And Lash Clash was getting a little dry, unfortunately. So she's gone. She will most likely be repurchased again with the Lancome Hypnose. I think those 2 are without doubt like my top 2 now. NARS eyeshadow primer, I actually finished this one today. Great eyeshadow primer, really enjoyed using it. Just trying to work through my eyeshadow primers, which you'll know if you've watched my project pans. I will link my project pans down below, because if you're interested in empties, you might be interested in those. And then finally, the one I said was the dupe for the Elizabeth Arden Flawless Hydrating Start Primer is the Laneige Glowing Makeup Serum. Thoroughly loved that product. I wouldn't ever need to have put it in a project pan because I was honestly obsessed with it. Again, like the Elizabeth Arden, it's beautiful, it's hydrated, it's silky. Without doubt, I'm going to be repurchasing that one. I've converted so many people to it. I'm going on about it that much that some of the girls at work have bought it. It's just incredible. It's beautiful. Don't love the pipette on it. As I got towards the end of it, I started to have to like tip it onto my hand. But other than that, incredible product. And that one's like £25, whereas I think the Elizabeth Arden is like at least £10 more than that. So yeah, so that is it for my 2024 empties. Perhaps not as impressive as some people's, but I am super proud of myself. I'm hoping next year when I film this video I can do empties and pans, and there's going to be a lot more products involved, but we'll see. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more from me, hit subscribe, and if you want to make sure you never miss another video, hit the bell icon and YouTube will notify you next time I post. You've been fabulous, I've been Cole the Ball, and I'll see you tomorrow for Cole's Christmas countdown, day number 22? No, 21. No. 22. Bye guys.